Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Thursday, October 20th, 2016. This is going to be another educational video on how professional sports are scripted. What I'm going to show you is how tonight's Thursday night football game in the National Football League is directly connected and scripted with the Cubs being in the National League Championship Series playing the Dodgers this same evening. When you think about it, by the end of this video, it should be perfect proof to you of how these games are scheduled as a script, as tributes, interconnected, further proof of how the sports world is rigged. So, in case you're new here, we talk about numerology, gematria. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. These are the languages you need to know to recognize how sports are scripted. If you pay attention from start to finish, and you're new here, this can be life-changing information. And if you doubt what I am saying is true, just go back and watch all the information I've put out, all the predictions I've put out that have come true. I predicted in spring training the Cubs would end the curse, win the World Series this year. It still is yet to be proven, but here they are in the National League Championship Series with a major opportunity. So check this out. In Gematria, Week 7 sums to the numbers you see. The number that stands out is 46, because today's date numerology also sums to 46. Chicago equals 46, like Week 7, like Lambeau Field. The Chicago Bears are playing in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. Packers, with the K and S exception, sums to 46. Chicago Cubs in Pythagorean Gematria sums to 46. The over-under, not by coincidence, on the game is 46 points. It connects to the week we're in, Week 7. It connects to the date numerology of the game. It connects to both teams playing. It is no coincidence the over-under is at that number. This is how sports are scripted. This is how over-unders are determined along with the script. Shown this countless times. So here's what's so fascinating. Packers and Bears, all time, have played each other 190 times in the regular season. The way you read this is the win column for the Chicago Bears. I took this as a screen capture from a long list of all the teams the Bears have played. So this says against the Green Bay Packers, they have 93 wins, 91 losses, and 6 ties, all time in the regular season. Division rivals, historic teams. In the playoffs, they've played each other twice, and they've split. So in the regular season, tonight, the Bears come in with 93 wins against the Packers. They're going for number 94. And the reason that's interesting is because the Chicago Cubs this year, they clinched a playoff berth with their 93rd game. Special number, the number of Saturn, the keeper of time. We've been talking about 93 a lot on Thursday Night Football. It's been a pattern this year in itself. The Cubs... the Cubs clinched in their 146th game with their 93rd win. Their next game, their 147th game, they got their 94th win. This year, the baseball season began on the 94th day of the year, April 3rd, 2016, which is typically the 93rd day. But because it's a leap year, it was the 94th day. And 94 in baseball history, 94 was the year of the MLB lockout season. So the Cubs, it's been 108 years since they won the World Series, 107 seasons, because there was no season in 94. Look at this. This is a screen capture from after the Cubs won last night, 10-2, Wednesday night, October 19th, a minute 47. That's also 107 seconds. It's been 107 seasons since the Cubs won, 108 years, because there was a lockout year, so the count's off. But anyway, I said, because of this number 94, I expected the World Series to be Indians and Cubs when the playoffs began. Because the Indians won 94 games this year, and there's a riddle in the movie Major League, which came out 27 years ago, 1989. Anyhow, when you write out 94 as a word, it has gematria 57 and 147. The Cubs got their 94th win in their 147th game. World Series also sums to 57 and 147. Last night, a lot of emphasis on the player Rizzo. I also said in spring training when I predicted the Cubs would win the World Series, I said I thought it would be a major tribute to Obama, the 44th president with Chicago connections, and the transitioning to Hillary Clinton, the next president who has been foretold since 2008, who also is from Chicago. The next person to be president will be the 45th president, but truly the 44th person to be president. Obama's number 44, but only the 43rd person. That's because Grover Cleveland had a split term and made the count off ever since president number 25. So anyway, here's these numbers, timestamped last night. Emphasis on Rizzo, who wears 44. Look at the name Rizzo. It equals 94. And now here we have Thursday night football. The Bears, the Chicago team, going for their 94th win, coming in with 93 as underdogs. I don't think the Bears are going to win tonight. If they do, I think that'll be very symbolic for the Cubs. But I'm going to show you why this game is truly scheduled against the Packers. It's more than this record. This is going to get more mind-blowing as we go on. So pay attention. I hope we've covered the beginning with going for the 94th win. Chicago football game, Chicago playoffs, National League Championship Series, same night. These are the parallels to begin with. So here's Aaron Rodgers, the star quarterback in the NFL, star of the Packers, playing at home in Lambeau against a lowly Bears team. The Packers are completely expected to win. And if they do lose, it'll be all shenanigans. It'll be all about this 94. But I'm not sure the Bears are going to get the 94th win tonight. And I don't think they need to for the Cubs to win the World Series, and I'm going to show you why. So anyway, from Rodgers' birthday to tonight's game, he'll turn 33, December 2nd this year. It's 43 days from his birthday to tonight's game. The number 191 is the 43rd prime number, and up here, notice it's going to be the 191st regular season game all time between both teams. 191st, 191, the 43rd prime, 43 days from Rodgers' birthday. It's also a total span of 44 days. There's only 2 states in the entire United States of America that sum to 44. They are Wisconsin, where the Packers are, where the game is tonight, and also Georgia. Georgia Packers. Last year, go back to either week 2 or week 3, it was a week with 44 numerology. It was the only week in the NFL season last year with 44 numerology. 2 games had a sum of 44 points. They were won by the Falcons from Georgia and the Packers from Wisconsin. And in history, Brett Favre, the 33rd overall pick by the Falcons, who play on the 33rd parallel, they sent him to play for the Packers, who have the big G on the side of their helmet. Big G in Francis Bacon gematria represents 33, the number of Freemason obsession. G, the same letter in the Freemason compass and square. Remember, lowercase a through z, 1 through 26, uppercase a through uppercase z, 27 through 52, big G, 33. Freemasonry, what created football. Freemasonry, what runs the NFL. When I say football, I mean American football. The opposing quarterback, Brian Hoyer. Jay Cutler's out tonight. I notice Brian Hoyer has gematria of 61 like Detroit Lions. Last year, the Packers won with the 61-yard Hail Mary against the Lions. By the numbers. Rodgers comes in with 137 games played, the 33rd prime. You can read the rest of this post. None of the win-loss record for the quarterbacks tells too much. For the coaches tonight, Mike McCarthy, his record shows a lot. He currently has 107 wins. He has a very real opportunity to get his 108th win tonight. Now remember, it's been 108 seasons since the Cubs won the World Series in 1908. Or excuse me, it's been 108 years, but it's only been 107 seasons because of the lockout season in 94. So he comes in with 107. He's looking for number 108. Cubs trying to break the 108-year curse. Major League equals 108. Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball equals 162. 162 game season in baseball. Baseball equals 54. 54 outs in a game. 27 for each team. MLB 27. Baseball and Pythagorean gematria. S exception 27. Baseball Pythagorean gematria is 18. Something very similar to 108. Just lose the 0 from the middle. And look at how many stitches are on a baseball. 108. Major League, 108. Cubs, longest curse in baseball, 108 years. Mike McCarthy, a chance to get his 108th win tonight against the Cubs. See how they line this up? Either the Bears get their 94th win, which connects to the World Series, or Mike McCarthy gets his 108th win, which connects to Chicago's curse. And you know why I think they really scripted this tight? This is why it's so hard to call the game sometimes. These games are so scripted and planned out. I think the reason they might do this is to control betting. Either way, having a team win in certain situations, a symbolic game, it can fit into their narrative, their ritual by the numbers. And at the end of the day, they can still control either outcome based on how the money is spent in Vegas. I think this is why sometimes the outcomes that I think I see so clearly don't pan out. This past week, I put out a prediction video. I did awesome with the morning games. Got a little sloppy with the afternoon games. Maybe my brain wore out. I did something wrong there. But anyway, the game that I felt the most confident about, ironically, was a game I was wrong about. And I realized after that game, for those of you who watched the video, I really thought the Raiders were going to beat the Chiefs. After the game, I said, where did I miss it? And I saw it right away with Coach Andy Reid. Andy Reid's birthday, the number of days, sank up with Raiders, just like how Alex Smith's did, which I documented in the video. I thought that was the only narrative the Chiefs had. I missed it with Andy Reid. Also, Andy Reid, his total games coached, that number, the prime number that matched was the number of wins the Chiefs got by defeating the Raiders in that game. So Andy Reid's total games was the 59th prime number. The Chiefs got their 59th win against the Raiders. And I missed that. This is math that I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you how to decode these games using the language of numbers, numerology, gematria, math, because this is how the people who run it are doing it. I've said all this time, I don't have it figured out all the way. I need more help. When I make mistakes, I learn from them. And, normally when I miss, I catch my mistake pretty close. But I'm also noticing the more I pay attention just how tightly they script these games both ways. And I'm really starting to go, okay, this must be how they control the gambling aspect. If everybody puts their money on one team, Vegas has an incentive to make sure that team, those people don't get their payouts. And we know this happens. Usually they just do it with the spread. Notice Mike McCarthy also has 57 losses. The manager of the Cleveland Indians is age 57, the number connecting to World Series. World Series 57. When you write out 57, it sums to the same thing as championship, Super Bowl. Been educating about these numbers for a couple years now. So again, Mike McCarthy going for win number 108. Same time the Cubs are playing for their chance to break the 108-year-old curse. Isn't it amazing? Just some more knowledge for numbers to look for tonight. I'm expecting a score ending with a sum of 45 or 54. I think that's what we're going to see tonight with Thursday Night Football. I think we're going to see a baseball tribute. Illinois 45, Wrigley 45, Cubs 45, Bears 45. The Cubs haven't been in a World Series since 45, not by coincidence. 71 years ago. Baseball equals 54, 18, and 27 with the S exception. The coach of the Bears tonight, John Fox, if the Bears pull it out and get their 94th win, we know what's up. Look at the name Fox, parallels here. See what I'm saying? 45, 18. What are we talking about? 45 and 54. This is going to be his 231st game tonight. Hillary Rodham Clinton equals 231. Hillary Rodham Clinton. Chicago, election, scripted sports, scripted election. This is what I've been explaining for 3 years in case you're new here. Sports are scripted along with the mainstream narrative going on through the news. Think about how all this stuff comes through the TV. The sports, the news, the election, the commercials. It's all part of a big script run by the same gang. The people who control the TV are the Freemasons. TV equals 42, just like Freemason. Just like Big G also represents 42. Again, watch my How to Gematria video. You want to know this language. So John Fox, his 231st game, Hillary Rodham Clinton, 231. Are the Bears about to pull a miracle upset in Lambeau. If they do, it'll be the second year in a row. Last year, I predicted the Bears would win in Green Bay. That was the night Brett Favre's number got retired. Tonight, I'm not so sure. Last year, the Packers, against their division rivals, lost all their games at home and won all of them on the road. We'll see what happens this year. With the Bears, this is going to be his 23rd game. He's either going to get his 16th loss or 8th win tonight. So there it is, Let's look at a few more notes. We talked about Rizzo, the 94 name, the big number for the Cubs this year. 44 and 27 in this picture. 44 plus 27 is 71. It's been 71 years since the Cubs went to the World Series. World Series 147. 94, 147. Again, the Cubs won their 94th win in their 147th game. And by the way, them clinching with their 93rd win in their 146th game. For 2 years, there's numerous blog posts of me documenting how they've been coding 146 next to the Cubs. I've been documenting for years. And this year they became the first team to clinch in their 146th game. There's things going on here. I wish I knew the language as well as the people who script it, but all I can do is document and learn from what's documented. For all of you who wonder how I figured this out, I figured it out with documentation, hard work, following the patterns. Look at this shot right here. Number 9 and number 4. Number 9 and number 4. 94? ESPN, the mainstream media, this is how they do it. That's why they have so many cameramen down there taking a million photos. They got to get it just right. This guy's got an MLB tattoo on his neck. So anyway, the Cubs won last night 10-2. Ended up being the final score. The game was finished 10-2, and they won the first game 8-4. United States of America equals 84, with the S exceptions 102. Hillary Clinton started her presidential campaign on the 102nd day of the year. She has birth numerology of 102. Born October 26, 1947. Remember, it was number 47 that hit that, I think it was a 3-run home run, possibly a grand slam to win the Cubs' 94th game of the season at number 147. Number 47, the number for presidents. Hillary born in 47 with the Chicago connections. And again, the Indians, their manager, 57 years old. They had 94 wins this year. In their decisive game, they have 33 at-bats. Cleveland, the only city that sums to 33. The word Indian, the singular 33. Named by C.C. Christopher Columbus, paid for by the C.C. Catholic Church. C, the third letter. But yeah, Indians 94 wins this year. That's why I said I thought they would be meeting the Cubs. Here's a final note. If the Dodgers upset the Cubs, which is a possibility, consider this. Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, was drafted by the Cleveland Indians. His birthday is exactly 147 days before the World Series. His name, Dave Roberts, in gematria, his birth name, has the same gematria as Los Angeles Dodgers, which is 181. 181 is the 42nd prime number. I can just show you this real quick on the screen. Think about the Dodgers and 42 and a black man. Right here, Dave Roberts. His full name is David Ray Roberts. David Ray Roberts equals 181. 181 is the 42nd prime number. Notice Barack Obama in Jewish gematria equals 181. 181, the 42nd prime number. 42, the number stamped all over black people throughout history. These numbers, they're more than just rigged sports, rigged elections. They're numbers that have been coded all throughout our history, mocking us. 42 represents a hateful word for black people, the most hateful word there is. It's also coded into February, the only month that sums to 42, Black History Month. 42 often stamped on black people. It's coded into the first black president. It's coded into the black manager of the Dodgers that had the first black player in Major League Baseball. Now we know why it was the Los Angeles Dodgers. People who control pro sports are the Freemasons, the Zionists, the people that have real hatred for the people of the world and seemingly the most hatred for the black people of the world. So there it is, Truth Seeker. We'll see what happens tonight. Notice they say the temperature is going to be 43 degrees, 43 days before you know whose birthday. Again, the 191st game, the 43rd prime. Even the weather reports by the numbers. Till next time.